Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Art Whisper 88. Today I am going to concentrate on the act of scribbling. And as you can see, the definition of scribble on your screen, it is to draw something hurriedly or carelessly without too much thought to it. And I want to use the act of scribbling as an exercise. And in many ways, it is cathartic. It's a process by which you express your anxieties, your frustrations, and it just comes out when you do this exercise. So it's a good practice to do. It's one of the few things that you can do when you are about to embark on a project, either a drawing or a painting, whatever. So anyway, I have here my trusty Blicrylic Mars Black. This is 1 pint. And I always shake it very well before using because it has a lot of fillers, or because sometimes the liquid tends to separate from the pigment. And but that liquid, the medium, is what creates a successful transfer. So I like to use this. Plus, this is not expensive compared to other paints. This is considered like a student grade. It's used in classrooms if you want to teach young children. And I like it. So, and here is my trusty brayer. And as you can see, I've stopped cleaning it because it does leave a very nice texture. And I find that texture as an asset rather than a liability. So, let's get rolling. Just going to apply a thin but even layer. And I have to be careful not to push the paint so it goes over the edge. By the way, this is a 16 by 20 Gelli Plate. It's one of my favorite sizes because it's not too big, it's not too small, and it's ideal for demonstrations. So putting a very nice even layer. And today, here are my weapons of choice. I have here Q-tips and my silicone rubber color shapers. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Q-tips and just do random circular motions. And since the gel plate is very slick, it's very easy to do this. Actually, the paint acts as a kind of lubricant. Okay, so that is the Q-tip. Now I'm going to use this, which is a wider So I'm kind of twirling as I pull. I'm twirling the color shaper. Okay. And then lastly, here's the widest. Now, curiously enough, the widest one does not take the paint off. It just redistributes it. Okay, I'm going to add some more scribbles. Oh, that sure does look messy, doesn't it? So anyway, I will let this dry and use a different paint to pick up this image. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes under the fan, so it's not completely dry, but dry enough that when I put this second layer, this is titanium white, I'm sorry, this is polymer gloss medium, and I will apply this to pick this up. So actually, the second layer is not a paint, it's a medium. So I can consider this as another experiment. Now there will be a little bit of smearing, but that's all right. The smearing actually creates additional texture. Just making sure I have a very thin, even layer of medium to pick up the first layer of black. So I will be using my usual Richardson 22 by 30 watercolor paper. 135 pound. And I will leave this for about 5 to 6 minutes to give the paper a chance to absorb the paint. Hopefully this will be a successful transfer. And I'm applying a very firm pressure. Okay, so I will be back in a few minutes. Okay, it's been more than 5 minutes. So let's see how we made out here. Oh, this is exciting. Wow. The texture is like a lithograph. And it's almost 100% transfer. I'm very pleased with it. It's a very dark image, but there's a lot going on. Pretty cool. So I will let this air dry. I have to study this and decide what I want to do with it. So I will be back in a few minutes. Okay, I've been playing around with my tissue paper with some scribble marks, and I think I would like to add some collage elements for some added interest. Can put this piece here. And I'm following roughly a rule of odd numbers. I'm putting an odd number three elements. And this is fluid matte medium. This is what I'm going to use instead of my usual Mod Podge. Let's start with a little one. Now, since this is tissue paper, it kind of blends in with the background. It's not as contrasty as I thought it would be, but I think it'll be fine. So I'm going to let this dry and see what's next. Okay, I'm back. Knowing myself, I cannot leave well enough alone. I had all these leftover cutouts. These are the negative shapes from the last video, or 2 videos ago. And I thought to myself, why not use them? So I was not content. Let me show you. I'm not satisfied with this image because to me, it lacks contrast. It's a very overall texture, but there's no real... It's like a story that doesn't have a main character. So I'm going to add some titanium white for some very dramatic contrast. Here it is. This is Liquitex Titanium White. So this should provide some very, very bright contrast. So I arranged my stencils like so. And I'm going to proceed to apply the titanium white. Now, titanium white is very opaque by nature, so this should provide a lot of contrast. And since there are many nooks and crannies, I think the most practical way to distribute this paint is to use a brush. Now, just to be on the safe side, I don't want this to dry on me. So I'm trying to work as quickly as I can. Just make sure I got rid of the high spots. Okay. Okay, I think I have them all. Okay, let's see how this turns out. Okay, so we leave this on for about 5 minutes and turn on the fan to speed things up. Okay, let's see how we made out. I hope this works. It left an interesting ghost. Okay, it totally changed the character of the print. It's not as somber looking. And I think it's a little more interesting. Now it left a very beautiful ghost, so I know I have to recover this. I'm going to use ultramarine instead of black. Okay. Can't resist adding marks here. See how we made out here. Pretty cool, huh? It's a world of difference. The energy created by the color makes a very different image. So I'm going to air dry both of these pieces and then do a recap. Okay, everybody, here's to recap. These have dried very nicely. This is one example where I set out on a journey and the destination is entirely different from what I expected. Here's a close-up. Now all that scribble work is really almost invisible because of the strong graphic layer that I had applied. Even the collage is not very obvious. So it's unexpected. I was a little disappointed, but the result is okay. I mean, it's not what I expected, but that's the nature of the medium. Because in my opinion, in a print, contrast is really important. If everything is very monotonous, it's not very interesting to look at. So that's the first print, and here is the second one. Here's the ghost. And I have to say, the ghost always wins. I find this a little more interesting because of its color and because of its simplicity. It has a watercolor-like effect, almost like a surface of water. And the scribble marks show up more here. It gives a little more personality. Now I will put them next to each other so you get the difference. You have identical graphic elements, but the change of color makes a huge difference. So anyway, thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Please pay a visit to artwhisper88.com, which is my storefront, and any sales or donations will help to keep this channel going. So thank you once more, and I hope to see you next time.